Hello future millionaires and welcome back to my channel. I am Kate for joining my live stream. Give me a second, just fix my orientation. Alright, I guess I'm going to have to stream like this. How are you guys doing? How has everything been? Is everybody okay? I have not been very consistent in recent times, but how are you guys keeping up? And also thank you so much for joining. I gave you a late notice today, but I see I still have persons on here. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for coming. How is everybody doing? Tell me in the comment section. Let me know if y'all are okay. I see Timoy O'Brien is here and he says, good day hosts and subscribers. How are you guys doing? Tell me in the comment section. I've been away for a while. I'm glad to be on another live stream. Guys, let me be totally honest with you. Sometimes I'm really busy. That's why I don't stream sometimes. And then other times, I just don't feel like I'm in the mood to stream. And that's the honest truth. And it's not just stream alone, it can be anything. I don't feel like posting, I don't feel like uploading a video, I don't feel like editing. That's just how it is sometimes, and that's the truth about persons who have YouTube channel or persons who are content creator. Of course, we're humans, and as a result, sometimes you just don't feel like doing anything. And that's me sometimes. And then when I'm very busy, that gets even worse. Yeah, but I'm gonna try as best as possible to be consistent. Just let me know how you guys are doing in the comment section and we can kick things off. I see I have quite a few persons on here already. Timoy says, good day host and subscriber, how have you all been? Janice Powell says, good evening Kayla. Chronicle of Thea says, good night all. I see Antoinette Determine is here also. She says, good evening everyone, I'm doing okay. And she says, I like your honesty, you're a human, hon. Yeah, that's the honest truth. So I know some people would be like, oh, you didn't upload a video today, what's happening with you? But the truth is, unless you do something like this, unless you have a YouTube channel, unless you have an Instagram page where people expect you to post, you don't feel the pressure and you don't understand what it is like to, you know, constantly be producing content or video or whatever, or constantly be having persons expect you to post something when you're really just not in the mood. It's a whole lot of work sometimes. Oh, by the way guys, when I was away I debraced. I am no longer in braces. Yeah, so that's one new update. Anyways, this evening we're talking about tips for buying land in Jamaica. So I know on several occasions, quite a few of you, we've spoken already about it, where persons would say, oh, I can't afford the cost of buying a house in Jamaica because it's so expensive, especially if you're trying to go the route where you are buying a house by yourself. It's very, very expensive. It can be very difficult. But buying land is an option where you can use to eliminate, you know, the high cost of buying an actual property. I see Janice says, I am okay, glad you're here, looking great. Thanks Janice. Right, so that's a way in which you can eliminate the stress of purchasing a property. And not just the stress, but it's cheaper to buy land and build, depending on where you're buying the land, of course. Because if you want to buy land in the Golden Triangle, you know that you're gonna have to pay Golden Triangle price. But apart from that, generally speaking, it's cheaper to purchase land and to build on land. So when you are buying land, there are a couple things that you want to do before you go ahead and seal the deal. And I'm going to walk you through those today so that you can understand what it really is like to purchase land in Jamaica and how you can get it done, with some little guidance and advice, of course. So one of the first things that you want to consider when buying land is you want to physically go and check out the land, right? So sometimes persons will buy land, and especially for those of you who are living abroad, you might ask somebody to check for you or whatever the case is. I think it's always good, whether you're buying a house or you're buying land, to actually physically go yourself and check out the property and just check that it is exactly what you are looking for. And says, I realize that land and house are very expensive these days, even in the country areas like Clarendon. Yeah man, the cost of real estate has gone up exponentially since the pandemic, and I always tell you guys that there are quite a few reasons for these things. For example, you would think that during a pandemic the cost for real estate would go down, but it actually went up, and that is because of the law of supply and demand. There's a high demand for places to live, so as a result of that, the cost for real estate has gone up. All right, so Sashmola says, hi guys, sorry I'm late. Thanks for coming, Sashmola, and that's okay. All right, so one of the first things you want to do if you're planning to buy land, you want to physically go and check the location, right? So when you check, you're checking for things like vegetation. Is the land that you're buying heavily vegetated? If you want fruit trees, does it have fruit tree? Then another thing, if you're buying land to build a house, depending on what kind of house you want to build, you want to ensure that the land is appropriate for that particular property. For example, say you are looking for a piece of land or a parcel of land that you can build a 2-story building on. So you know the front of the house can be 2 stories and the back is like split level. So the front is 2 stories and then the back is a regular, you just regularly walk in. Then a slope would be perfect for that, if you understand what I'm talking about. But if it is that you want to build just on the flat, then you wouldn't buy a land that is on the slope. So it's important for you to go and physically check the parcel of land if you are intending to purchase land. Alright, the next thing that you want to look is, well, I said it before, but it's called the lay of the land. So how the land is, if you're looking for something hilly, or if you're looking for a piece of a mountain versus a slope versus on the flat or the plain. So you want to look at all of that. Antoinette said, I went to look at a piece in St. Elizabeth for 2 million. It was nice, hilltop view. Yeah, so 2 million is quite an affordable price for land. So if you purchase a piece of land for $2 million, you can take your time. If you want a 2-bedroom, you can take your time and build your 1-bedroom first, and then you add on until it gets to where you want. So it's a cheaper home ownership option than purchasing a house. So the second thing that you want to do if you're planning to buy land is you want to ensure that the parcel of land that you're buying is cleared. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I guess I'm really tired. Yeah, you want to ensure that the parcel of land is cleared so that you can see what it is that you're getting into. If some big sinkhole are at the back of the property, you want to know this before you go ahead and purchase this land so that you can treat with it. You'll be able to treat with it, or you'll be able to come up with a solution before you just get into something blindly. Alright, so the third thing you want to do is to find out if the land has access to or allows you access to basic amenities. So I'm not sure if you would want to do this, but I definitely would not want to buy land where there's no proper road. So every week you have to change out your front end because the road is just non-existent. So there are only parochial roads and you have to cross through a river to go home. I'm not into that kind of vibe. So you want to ensure that you actually physically go and check the land to see that it is somewhere suitable and it's something that is workable. So you want to check the land, check if your neighbors have, or your potential neighbors have, water access, have sewage access, has access to things like the internet, cable, if that's something important for you. You don't want to purchase land and then you find out that, oh, this is so remote that I don't have access to any of the normal things that I have access to. The fourth thing that you want to check out is zoning. So for those of you who live in the corporate area especially, you know that zoning is extremely important, because there are some communities that are strictly residential, some that are mixed, so you can have both commercial and residential properties in that zone, and then there are zones that are just strictly commercial, so you can't have persons living there, just businesses alone. So before you go ahead and purchase land, you want to check out the zone, and of course you can check that out with the parish council and the National Land Agency also, to ensure that you're buying land in an area where you're able to build residential home. I'm sure you guys can tell by now, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I guess I'm really tired. Alright, the next thing, the fifth thing that you want to do is check if the land is in a flood prone area. Now, I know that none of us with reasonable thinking ability would want to purchase property in an area that is a flood prone area, because as we have seen out close to Bull Bay and in areas like Portland, where the Portland cottages, some areas of Clarendon, you have persons living close to the periphery of the island, and they are basically flood prone areas. So you don't want to do that. You want to ensure that you're purchasing land in a good area. So you can check out those things. Sometimes you can simply walk around in the community and ask persons who live there about it, so that you can have a better understanding of what the area is like, as opposed to trying to find out for yourself that it is a flood prone area after you've already constructed a property. So those are things that you want to check out. The sixth thing is access to access to the internet. So I know that for most of us, internet access is very important. So you want to check before you move into an area if it is that the internet access is existent there, and so on. Timoy O'Brien says it is extremely important to check out these things. Indeed, when rainfall is heavy, we see people suffering, or when rainfall is heavy, we see people suffering from the flooding. Definitely. And it must be very uncomfortable to see all your personal belongings covered under water. And then if you, for example, you know that a storm is coming, some persons literally elevate their furniture onto blocks and so on. So they do that, and then at the end of the day, they are left at such inconvenience, because even elevating the furniture really don't help, because they will still have extensive amount of damage. And remember, it's not a case where you can sue somebody for these damages. It's just that you're going to have to bear the financial burden of these issues by yourself. So that's kind of very disheartening. But it's always better to find out something before it happens than to wait until you purchase a property in a particular area to find out that it is flood prone. I'm sure you'd appreciate if you found out before, don't it? So you wouldn't waste your money, waste your time, and invest in that property. Anyways, my future millionaires, I'm not going to be long with you this evening. I know you all have work tomorrow, and we're basically opening back the country, so you'll have a lot to do this week. Have a wonderful week, and just let me recap everything for you. In this live, we spoke about tips that you need to purchase a property, to purchase land in Jamaica. I beg your pardon. Firstly, we spoke about physically going to the land, checking out the land and so on. Look at the vegetation, look at the lay of the land, the surrounding communities, the terrain, to find out if it is what you are looking for. Secondly, you want to get the land cleared, so cut down all the grass and the shrubs so that you can see what's really going on with the land. Thirdly, you want to check if the land has or allows you access to basic amenities, for example light and water and sewage treatment plants and so on. That's very important. Imagine living in a whole community where there's not a proper sewage system. You know that you're going to kind of have some serious issues over time. We looked at zoning also. So you want to purchase in an area that is suitable for you to build residential properties. Remember, some areas are strictly for businesses and some are mixed with businesses and residential. If you want to live in an area like that is mixed with business and residential, you know it's going to be very urban and you might have a lot of noise, things like that. So you can think about that from now if you do your due diligence. The fifth thing was to check if the area that you're purchasing land is flood prone. So if it is flood prone, you can make your decision based on that, whether you want to purchase or you want to move along with your life. 6, ensure that road access is reasonable. And 7, you want to find out if you'll have access to the internet in that community. So this was my tips. These were my tips on buying land in Jamaica. Always remember that buying land is still an option. We don't talk about it a lot most of the time. And the NHG actually has a loan called the Build on Land loan that facilitates persons who purchase land. They give them money in the form of a loan to build on that land. So I hope these tips were helpful, and if you have any comments you can ask under the video. Antoinette says, ensure there are no graves on the land because it will devalue your property. Indeed, thanks for that advice, Annette. I think that's a very good one. Yeah, so if you have additional questions, you can ask them in the comment section. When I end the live, you can ask them under the actual video. Remember to give the video a thumbs up if you're watching now. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting on, but you can go ahead and subscribe now and give the video a thumbs up. Share it with your friend who is looking to go into home ownership so that they too can benefit. All right, so remember, I post on Fridays at 3 and Sundays at 6 p.m. I go live, so we should be in for a treat. So stay tuned to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell also so that you don't miss a notification whenever I post. And it's asking how much does NHG give to build on land, and it says $2.5 million. And remember, this money can go far way higher than that, guys. It depends on your earning power and your ability to repay. I know somebody that just got 4.5 to start his construction project. He's building a house, so I don't think it's a fixed amount. It depends on what your plan is, because you have to do up a plan, and they'll help you with that part of it, with the architecture part of it. You know that they have their own architects, so that they'll help you with your plan, with developing a plan, and that's one of the advantages of using that facility there. All right, guys, so that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video.